back of the aircraft. Just a reminder that fasten the seatbelt sign is still on. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened.
Okay, we're about halfway through the trip and the audio quality is terrible, so I'm redubbing this. I don't care. Apparently we're about to hit turbulence because we're stopping at Chicago airport before we go to Denver. Why are we going to Denver? Let's ask back on the set. Phew, that terrible dubbing is over and done with. Anyway, why am I going to Denver? Well, my brother Ben lives out there and we decided to travel out and visit him. It's a very long flight across the US away, but I was okay with it because I was still very excited to see Colorado. Also, my airport has Chick-fil-A. It took 2 plane rides to get there. One from our local airport to Chicago, and one from the Chicago airport to Denver. I really like this new light, but it's very bright. The first flight went smoothly. There weren't that many people on the plane, so I kind of got my own row, which meant I could just sit by myself, look out the window seat, and watch Moon Knight and Malcolm in the Middle. I have a very niche group of things I enjoy. Trouble arose, however, when we stopped in Chicago and couldn't get off the plane. Due to problems with luggage or something, the plane that was ahead of us was still at the gate, meaning we couldn't get into the airport. We were just kind of stuck waiting right outside of it. The first flight was already delayed a lot, so it really felt like we were gonna miss our Denver flight and have to stay in Chicago for the night. Rhymes. After a half hour of waiting to leave the plane, and then another 10 minutes of waiting for the people in front of us to leave the plane, we learned that the Denver flight was still there waiting for us and a few other people from the Chicago connection. So once we were in the airport, we ran for what was probably half a mile. It was so stressful I couldn't even stop to tie my shoe. Once we arrived on the next plane, we were the last ones on, and it was very crowded, so I had to sit next to some guy who took a window seat. I love window seats, especially at night when you can see the lights glowing from buildings. But now I can't even look at the window because it'll feel like I'm staring at this guy and I don't want to creep him out. I don't know what this guy's capable of. An hour later, but it felt like 2 hours earlier, we arrived back in the airport. Back to me, you. And after way too long, we're in Denver now. Hey, an escalator. A slightly smaller child, my dad would tell me an urban legend that if you left your shoe untied on an escalator, this spot right here would suck you inside by the shoelace. It was a smart way to teach 5-year-old me to tie his shoes, but now it doesn't really make any sense. If it pulls you in, where do you go? Is there another realm entirely under the escalator? Am I going to escalator heaven? Okay, hopefully future me has explained the whole plane ride. I can make a really bad pun with explained, and now I pointed it out. I really shouldn't have. Man, I'm making you guys suffer on my vacation. Point is, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. It feels like it's 3 a.m. And I have not eaten since 5 p.m. last night, so we're making a microwave pizza at 3 a.m. I am so tired. Okay, so it's the start of day 2. We got a rental car. We're at a hotel. It's really nice. It's a nice hotel, but the crazy thing is, look, it's a tumbleweed. Tumbleweeds are actually real and not just fictionalized things created in televised versions of the Old West. Wow. That's crazy.
It's about to start tumbling.
Now I really wanted to kick this tumbleweed, and I wanted to kick even farther than you saw me kicking it here, because either A, I thought it was a soccer ball, B, I really hated it, or C, I just wanted to see what it looked like.
It's tumbling away.
We were driving around trying to look for a restaurant. We're taking a quick break right here, just looking around. There's not much to see, but it's still kind of cool. It's just kind of crazy. Look, there are all those mountains back there. These bikers don't really have anything to do with the topic of the video. But it's kind of crazy to think that somewhere out there on one of those mountains, I'm looking, there's someone who's looking back at me saying, that kid really didn't put any gel in his hair today, did he? You didn't need to show it. As you can see, there are a ton of rocks here, so I decided to take one rock, take another tiny pebble, and write my first initial on it. Maybe if I ever come back here, I'll see it again, or erosion will happen, who knows? Or I just won't ever go on this highway ever again. It's a mystery. If you live on Earth like me, you're 93 million miles from the sun, so you don't think being 1 mile higher would make much of a difference, right? Wrong! The weather is crazy hot in Denver, and I got a sunburn on day 2 because I didn't realize just how hot it would be. Sunburns are awful. Why must the sun be so hot? And bright. I'd of course have put on sunblock, but I didn't think I needed it because it's April. Thankfully the sunburn didn't last too long. This one year I went all summer without a sunburn, and then I somehow managed to get one on Labor Day weekend. I was so close. Back on topic, after stopping at that scenic overlook, we continued our trip to visit Boulder. Okay, so we're taking a walk at this hill place. That's basically what it is, it's a hill. We found this camera. Apparently, I believe it's recording. The rangers here, no one was on duty, but we still wanted to take it to get, clearly this is unscripted. We basically left the camera on the rock we found it on, but put a little thing over it to stop the sun from getting to it. This camera probably shouldn't be in the sun either. Now see that hill there? Guess what? We're going up it. Thankfully by car and not just straight up it with our feet. So yeah, let's get going. This is Panorama Point. It is absolutely crazy. We're so high up. I say crazy too much, don't die. Here's that hill where we found the aforementioned GoPro. Here are a ton of people's houses. And that is the Colorado University. It's a really big university. We were driving past it for like 10 minutes. How many people even go to that college? That's a more deserty area where there are less buildings and definitely less trees. This is a mammoth. And I don't think we're gonna see many of those on this view, sadly enough. So I don't know what the point of putting them in the picture is. I am so glad that this isn't just a straight fall, because like, it would probably do a little bit of damage. I don't want to drop my phone, but if I did, this would be a better place to drop it. But let's get off the subject of dropping my phone. I love how it felt at Panorama Point, because you can look over like such a huge amount of land. You can hear all the faint sounds from below, and it's like you're looking at a ton of people all at once. Plus, compared to many people I know, I'm pretty short, so this was a nice change of pace. Now I'm gonna stare down at all these people I can not really see from Panorama Point. Hope that people are intimidated. On day 3, we left the hotel, but not until I took advantage of breakfast provided by the hotel. I'm normally not too hungry when I first wake up, but I apparently forgot about that and got myself a huge plate of sausages that I barely ate any of. We then packed up and headed to Ben's house, where we would be staying for the rest of the trip. His house is also where he records videos for his own YouTube channel, on which he makes original songs and covers. If you want to check out that kind of stuff after you watch this video, there should be a link right down there in the description. Downtown Denver, it's like the middle of the afternoon. I haven't done much to film today. Now the wind is absolutely crazy. We didn't do too much on day 3 aside from this walk. It was easily the calmest day of the trip. What else? I got a Wordle in 2 tries just from sheer luck.
I just have one question. Why?
Why? I feel like one annoying thing about vacations is that thing in the place you're staying that bugs you, and then right when you get used to it, you leave. At Ben's house, it was a spot in the floor where, cause like it changed rooms, it gets a little bit lower, and it drove me so crazy that I made a sketch about it. Similarly, at the hotel, anytime we got out of the elevator on the floor to our room, there would be a triangularly shaped garbage can that I kept narrowly missing. If we didn't ever leave, I would have surely gotten impaled by that thing. You might be wondering where I got this shirt saying Roxborough State Park, Colorado. Well, this might come as a shock, but I got it from Roxborough State Park, Colorado. That's where we went on day 4. There are all sorts of hats, and we went on a walking trail that was about 2.5 miles long. I've been obsessed with the Roxborough trip, mainly because it gave me some really good desktop wallpapers, so here's some footage. get songs stuck in your head, right? Well, on the Roxborough trip, my whole family, being huge Seinfeld fans, including myself, had one line stuck in our head the whole time.
I want it's gone! I want it's gone!
I have no memory of how we started quoting it, but we weren't able to stop.
So, it is the final full day in Colorado, and we're just taking a drive up some mountains, seeing what we can see, and yeah, now it's snowing. Man, the snow is really trying to stick around here in Colorado. I'm starting to personally not be a huge fan of snow because, like, it's not like the days where I'm going around sledding. Snow's fine in December around the holidays. Then it just really overstays its welcome.
A fun stop we took on day 5 was the Red Rocks Amphitheater. If you didn't know, an amphitheater is like a theater, except it's a bit harder for me to remember how to spell. It's basically built in some rocks, like most things on Earth, actually. And it has a really pretty view. Tons of famous musicians have performed here, such as Willie Nelson, the Beatles, this statue of a bear, Waldo, and John Denver. Wait, which came first, the city or the John? I also had my first boba tea, and while it was kind of a surreal texture at first, it was really good. But on this final full day of the trip before we flew home, I realized all good things have to come to an end. So I finished the boba tea, and then I realized the same thing about our trip. On day 6, we flew out of Denver, and it was kind of nice not having to run across an entire airport to make a connection. Colorado feels a lot closer now that I've been there, and I would definitely love to go again sometime, even if it cost me a small sunburn. And after this trip, as I move on in life, I'll never forget it, and I will always remember these words. Why? Also, special announcement. Videos might not be daily anymore, but I would definitely love to make them weekly. Nobody likes Tuesdays, right? Well, I'm gonna make them a little better, hopefully, by releasing a new video every Tuesday. Tuesday's gonna be the new Caleb day. I will announce if I'm ever busy and not able to upload a video, but hopefully Tuesdays should be the new day to watch vlogs, sketches, and anything else I might make that week. That's about it from me. Caleb out.